Alright, so it is finally time to learn the Inferno. We're just going to turn in our fire cape here so we have access and go get geared up and start learning. So this is the setup I've been running. It's basically just trying to maximize my prayer bonus, so you know my prayer lasts as long as it can. For the inventory, got my switches here, 3 pots, and everything else. Well, I think the most I've ever done in the Inferno is a few waves in the last league, but I think I only got to like wave 20. That is the bat down. Basically just drain your stats when they hit you, drain your run if you're not praying against them, but really not much to worry about. And then we got the blob. They're super easy to deal with, just fairly annoying. So if you're close like that, you're gonna want to change your prayer a second after the attack hits you, basically. If they're farther away, you have to change your prayer like instantly as the attack hits you. And then they break up into those guys. What's cool about that though is you're actually able to use them depending on where it dies to get a phantom heal, so you'll basically be able to heal 2 times off of each one of them if you are manually casting against them. Cool, so when this dies here, I'm going to be able to do a phantom cast. Basically just dependent on how far away you are from them and the fact that you manual cast over and over again, so you'll actually be able to cast again on their dead bodies once they drop. Melees are actually pretty annoying, but again really easy to deal with. Because of how big they are, you're able to get them stuck on pillars fairly easily. It's my terrible first attempt at a safe spot there, or corner trap. You're actually able to trap them like that in various different sides of the pillar as well, so it's not just one spot. You actually can corner trap them and attack them as well, so that way they can't attack you and you don't have to just sit there wasting your prayer like I am. And this was, what, wave 14? It was kind of the first wave I actually had trouble with. Future me knows not to chase the nibblers like that, because then you die. And this was actually quite frustrating, and you'll see why in just a few seconds. Yeah, I PC'd. And came back, and then PC'd again for real, and yeah, you can see the world was kind of like offline for me there when it popped up on the side. Yeah, well, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? So at this point, I've been grinding the Inferno every day for just hours and hours, and I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break, because it has been about a week of just pounding my head against the wall trying to learn the content, so I think I'm just going to grab some total levels, and after that, I'll see you back in the Inferno. And surprisingly enough, a scepter. So, a good way to get some extra prayer before you go into the Inferno, equip your max melee gear and a dragon battle axe. Then what you're going to do is go ahead and use the special, drink from the pool, run over to your combat dummy. If you have an undead one, use the Sal BI. Then what you're going to do is switch over to your ancient mace, turn on piety, special attack the dummy, turn off your prayer, and that is 132 prayer. And that's not going to drain or go away until you use it. Alright, so here we are on wave 31. It's actually the first actual difficult wave. You got a ranger, a melee, and 2 blobs. So, yeah, when I say difficult, I just mean as a learner. I mean, obviously, if you already know how to do the content, it's not going to give you any problems, but... So as you can see, that wasn't really the best move. What I should have done is, before the melee started digging, I should have walked over to the left side of the pillar and made him dig over there. And so I could come over to the tile on the corner of the pillar and corner trap it, and then that would also force the ranger to walk a couple steps in, and I'd be able to hit it from cover and not have to deal with all of them all at the same time. Another double blob wave, and I'm just not really making good choices here. I shouldn't have run around the pillar like that. Instead, I should have just kept flicking the blobs and switched my focus to the melee and tried to kill it as fast as possible with a blowpipe. But that's some of the stuff you find out when you're learning. Back again at wave 31. Still running all over the place. You can tell how inexperienced I am at this. But we finally made it to the majors. Now we got another double blob wave, which usually tend to give me a lot of trouble. But luckily with how these are all stacked up, I can kind of just deal with everything one at a time, so as long as I don't do something dumb, I should be able to solve this wave. Sometimes the best thing you can do is kind of just stand still and let things fall up against the pillar and kind of be able to decide what you're going to do from safety once you are able to clear out everything that's attacking you, and you can kind of just take a minute to figure out where everything is at. I really should have changed my prayer there. I could have gotten KO'd by the bloblets, and that would have just been not very fun. And I realized that it was able to attack me from that distance a little while too late. But we made it past wave 41, and we're on wave 45 now actually. So that is quite the progress from being kind of stuck at wave 14 to being stuck at wave 20 to being stuck at wave 31 and then 41, kind of just learning how to deal with everything, but still making dumb mistakes chasing the nibblers like that. I made it to wave 46, so far, new PB. Still chasing nibblers and taking way more damage than I need to. Although, saving West Pillar is fairly important, it's not worth it if it gets you killed though. This is wave 48, we're getting pretty close to 50 here. We're gonna have to deal with mages and rangers at the same time at that point, so alright, wave 55. Getting closer and closer to Jad. All this footage kind of came from about a week and a half of learning. Still making some mistakes. I think we're close enough now. We should practice doing more than one Jad at once. So let's hit up the 2 Jad challenge. and I kind of messed up their timing when I ran under them. They're attacking me pretty close to the same tick there. Let's run it back. I'm gonna make sure this time I don't force them to change the ticks they're attacking on, because that got me killed. Now I'm assuming dealing with 2 is pretty much almost the same as having 3 of them attacking you at the same time. It's just one more Jad. And now I'm in melee range. Let's fix that. Alright, cool. So we got all the healers off of them. I think now we just blood barrage and kind of thin their numbers down a little bit. But future me knows that you should just try to stack them vertically by walking away. That way you only have one of them attacking you at a time. But that's part of the learning process. Can my Bofa just hit, like, for real? So at this point it has been about a week and a half since I started my Inferno grind. We've made it up to wave 55 and we've had some practice at the 2-Jad challenge for when we get to triples. I think we're going to end up calling it a video here. If you enjoyed this video, then maybe leave it a like or a comment, and I will catch you guys in the next progress video. Hopefully we can make it to Zuck that time. But with Desert Treasure 2 coming out pretty soon at the time of recording this video, I think I have a plan to make my life a little bit easier. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time.